Good morning. Please sit down. Three years ago, we were deep into an unprecedented wave of disruption created by a global pandemic, a disruption that led to change, that led to opportunities, and truly innovative solutions. That was when you were deciding to leave whatever you were doing peacefully and start a new journey here at Columbia. 3 years later, we are deep into another unprecedented wave of disruption, now created by artificial intelligence. Currently, we're just taking stock of what has happened and imagining of what can happen next. Class of 2023, you're launching into your next phase of your life, your journeys, of your careers, once again at a time of rapid change, technological, geopolitical, environmental. And change, as we said before, brings up uncertainty, it brings disruption, but it really brings opportunities out for each of you to have impact. And we know, and I'm sure you know, that you will succeed. In 2021, we started in Morningside campus when you joined us, and a few months later, you became the first class to open the doors of our Manhattanville campus. You were a class You're a class that thrives in rapid, fast-paced change. You're trailblazers. And as we just said, you are our trailblazers. Congratulations, class of 2023. Today is your day, but even as we celebrate you, I want to take a moment to welcome and thank everyone in attendance today here, especially the friends and the family who supported our class of 2023. Your faith and investment in our graduates helped them become the leaders that they are today. Please join me to thank our friends and family in attendance. I also want to welcome and thank the Columbia University and the Columbia Business School faculty, staff, and administrators who tirelessly created the framework of learning and support that you experienced throughout your time here, pivoted out of the pandemic, adjusted to a new campus life, changed curricula to reflect the present and future of what you will be navigating. Thank you. And personally, I would also like to thank all of the people in our team and the university that worked hard, tirelessly, I would say, including for 2 years during the pandemic to deliver flawlessly a very complex and ambitious construction project to our new campus. I said flawlessly, despite the fact that we all had to navigate some very aggressive elevators for a few weeks, but we all made it. You, our graduates, handled it with amazing ease. You, class of 2023, you are amazing. So much has changed since you began your studies. You took it in stride, you took it with humor, and always you took it with determination. We have almost erased from our memory the fact that you all chose to apply during the pandemic. You started the school during our transition out of the pandemic. You were with us when we moved to Kravis and Geffen Halls, and you certainly restarted our sort of post-pandemic life with events, with conferences, with outings, with celebrations. And if we learned one thing throughout that time, and throughout these past few years, is that you are likely to continue to go through a period of disruption and volatility in our complex, global, interconnected world. From our own society and politics, to geopolitics and the world order, climate change, to artificial intelligence. These days, AI is top of mind for all of us. So many advances that have suddenly penetrated our daily lives in the past 6 months alone. Take it from someone that spent some time back in 3 decades ago in grad school, working in the very problems that we're experiencing right now, unsuccessfully back then. But back then, we didn't have the World Wide Web, we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have abundant data, we didn't have compute scale. Yet today, the progress that we're experiencing is truly astounding. And in fact, it was hard to anticipate it even 12 to 24 months ago. And while it will take some time for AI tools to start to fundamentally rearrange your daily life and my daily life, change our healthcare system, change our transportation system, disruption and opportunity is certainly coming. And the pace of change is only accelerating through adoption, through experimentation, through implementation. It is really hard to imagine, it's hard for you to imagine what will be possible in just a few years or a decade or two. What will we be able to do? How our lives are going to change if these tools become 1,000 times more powerful, if they become 1,000,000 times more powerful, which they will. How will we harness these technologies? How will we control them? How do we make them actually direct them for good? And this just scratches the surface on one small topic in technology. There's climate change, there are societal issues that we're dealing with, all the role that businesses need to play in order to address all of these challenges. This is a time for all of you, for all of us, to stay curious and to keep ingesting new ideas that will drive disruption and will create meaningful change. It is a great time to be putting to work all that you have learned, building on top of all that you know, modifying it, applying it, your knowledge, in whatever you choose to pursue next. And it is a time where inspired leadership, creativity, and sound judgment will become ever more important. The future is what you will help sculpt through your work, through your ideas, through your personal leadership. And as with many of your fellow alums, you will without a doubt go on to start businesses, invent products. Some of you will create entire new industries. You will undoubtedly positively impact your own communities. You will better the world. We live in a time of enormous progress and also a time of very significant challenges all around us. And a time where leaders, business leaders, of today and of tomorrow are asked, and they're in fact expected to help solve these biggest challenges that are all around us. It is a moment your Columbia education and leadership skills will be most valuable. You will put them to work with purpose and meaning and truly contribute to the greater good. And we cannot wait to see and learn from all that you will do, all of us here at the school, but truly all future generations of students as well. Look around the people around you. These are the people who will be part of your community for the rest of your life. And even in the midst of technological breakthroughs, geopolitical friction, societal tension, human connections are truly important. Knowledge is important, context is important, and the combination, knowing things and knowing people, is really what unlocks opportunity and leads us forward. I have every confidence in your ability as inspiring leaders. Congratulations, class of 2023. Now you will hear from our own Lauren Killian and other special speakers. Welcome, Lauren. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kostis. Graduation day for us administrators is always a very bittersweet day. It has been such a pleasure working with you all for the past couple years, and it'll be very hard to see you go. But we also know that you, along with your loved ones and your friends, are very excited to get your weekends back and your and your personal lives back on a regularly scheduled programming. And we are happy to celebrate that part, that sweet part of this journey with you as well. We congratulate you on this incredible achievement and look forward to hearing all about your accomplishments throughout your careers and your lives. It is now my pleasure this morning to introduce David Polk, who was chosen by the EMBA New York Friday-Saturday class to be one of 2 student speakers to represent their cohort. David began his career at Car Talk on NPR and was eventually named program director and interim general manager of WFMT Radio in Chicago, where he also produced and hosted dozens of programs. He then led digital strategy for the national PBS series American Masters. He's a former Fulbright scholar in Germany, was named to Crain's Chicago Business's inaugural list of notable LGBT executives, and is an alumnus of Tufts University, where he graduated summa cum laude. At Columbia, he was a vice president of the LGBT student organization Cluster Q, and will start a new position at Adobe Inc. in June. Please join me in welcoming David to the podium.
Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, Dean Maglaris. And welcome to everyone who has traveled from far and wide to be here in New York this morning. It is such an honor to be able to address my classmates who make up the best looking and smartest class in the history of Columbia Business School. It is no coincidence that during our time here, Columbia Business School became the #1 ranked school in the world. And all of a sudden, the Financial Times became our favorite newspaper. At least until next year when they switch it up again. I remember 2 years ago, arriving for the first day of classes for our residency week. We were at the Times Square Marriott, just steps from the cultural center of New York City, Margaritaville, which became one of our favorite bars. The New York Post may have written that it's New York City's most unnecessary restaurant, but they clearly do not share our appreciation for artisan jumbo margaritas. When I got in line at the hotel to check in, I still wasn't so sure about business school. My entire career to that point was working in the arts and in the nonprofit sector. My main interactions with corporate professionals involved begging them for money and naming buildings after them. I looked around the hotel lobby and saw my new classmates dressed to the nines in suits and blazers, and I thought, what a bunch of dorks. I didn't see very many suits again after that. Instead, you all changed my life by exposing me to the finest assortment of athleisure I've ever seen. Because as we all quickly discovered, you have to do what you can to make it through 9 hours of consecutive classes at a time. When life gives you lemons, make Lulu lemonade. And my life has changed in so many other ways as well. A lot of learning, as it happened during those marathon class weekends. I understand the world a lot better than I did 2 years ago. Before business school, for example, I could barely spell corporate finance. But thanks to the magic of Professor Andrew Hertzberg, who joined us on stage, thanks to him, I can now make a spreadsheet that looks colorful yet intimidating. And I want to congratulate Professor Hertzberg on receiving the Commitment to Excellence Award from the Friday-Saturday class. We were so lucky to have you. There is nobody else I'd rather hear talk about weighted average cost of capital calculations at 8:30 on a Saturday morning. Despite working at the Federal Reserve, Professor Hertzberg kept our interest steady. I also became a lot better at spending my money in business school. Going to Zara is no longer just shopping, it's research. And visiting another continent with my friends, it's not vacation, it's networking. Most of all, we have had to rationalize dropping a lot of money on this degree. Now, this is the part where I quote Warren Buffett, who we were reminded regularly is an alumnus of CBS. Since we've all invested in this degree, here are two of Warren Buffett's rules of investing. He said, the first rule of investment is don't lose money. And the second rule of investment is don't forget rule number one. So what did we get for our investment? We got the wonderful learning experience, of course. We also had the privilege of being among the first to study on Columbia's beautiful new Manhattanville campus. But I think the most valuable thing we got out of this was each other. I will never forget spending many hours with my fabulous learning team, A1. We got to know each other well, and we still like each other anyway, at least I think we do. And we got inspiration. I was, and I continue to be inspired by being around so many ambitious, great people for the last 2 years. And to do it here in New York City, the capital of hustle and ambition, was truly a dream. And I'm inspired by all of you who did this not only with full-time jobs, but with young families. I'm inspired by the spouses and the partners, collectively and proudly known as the plus ones, who had to listen to us go on and on about Excel formulas. They will always know how to VLOOKUP our love. And now, it's over. But is it? I just paid approximately $1,500 per friend. So remembering Buffett's rule number 2, not to forget rule number 1, I do not intend on giving any of you up. Today isn't about commemorating the end of something, but celebrating the start of many great conversations, future businesses, growing families, memories, and deepened friendships to come. And if one day, after your amazing success, one of you wants a business school named for you, well, I know one that still has naming rights available. But don't come to me to ask about it. I left the nonprofit sector. Congratulations to all of you. I look forward to continuing the celebrations, and thank you for this opportunity.
I'm now delighted to introduce our next student speaker, Misha Paula. Who was chosen by the EMBA New York Saturday class to be one of 2 student speakers to represent their cohort. Misha is Chief of Staff at SAP, partnering with senior management to support strategic client engagements focused on technology adoption and business process improvement. During her time at CBS, Misha was involved with Columbia Women in Business and fellowships at Auschwitz for the study of professional ethics. Prior to pursuing her EMBA degree, Misha earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in Economics and Mathematics from Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia. Please join me in welcoming Misha to the podium.
Graduates, it is an honor to stand before you today as we celebrate the culmination of our hard work and dedication over the past 2 years. We've navigated difficult decisions and overcome challenges to reach this milestone, in hopes of building impactful careers and growing into the leaders we aspire to be. As we step into the next chapter of our journey, I wanted to share with you 3 invaluable lessons I learned during my time here. Lesson 1, celebrate the journey and the friendships made. One of my favorite parts of this MBA experience was CBS Matters. For those unfamiliar, CBS Matters is an opportunity for students to present to their peers on what matters most to them and why. Our classmates shared about the experiences that defined them, from the delightful stories of meeting life partners to the gut-wrenching yet inspiring stories of living through war, illness, or failure. Community, I'll get that later. Community is the essence of humanity, and through it, we are never alone. Creating spaces of connection, as CBS Matters allowed us to do, in a world that often feels divided and disconnected, is an act of love and healing. CBS Matters encouraged us to appreciate the diversity of human experience and celebrate the stories that bind us to one another. Lesson 2, cherish loved ones. Their presence enriches life's journey. I'm reminded of this as I reflect on a particularly challenging moment in my MBA venture. Burnt out from the first year of core courses, apprehensive of the second year, and overwhelmed juggling work and personal commitments, I called my mother in tears. Within minutes, she had booked a flight to New York City, greeted me with a warm hug as only a mother can give, and spent the weekend silencing the inner voice of self-doubt. For all the loved ones in this audience who can remember when we first thought of pursuing an MBA, who greeted us at the end of exhausting days of work and school, who listened to us grumble about essays and cases and projects, and who cheered us on when we were sure we would never make it to this day, we thank you. We celebrate you today as much as we celebrate this degree. Your love, encouragement, and undying support are our most precious gifts. And finally, lesson 3, propel positive change. As we step into our next chapter, we must take our unique perspectives, the sum of our lived experiences, education, and passions to improve our communities, to shape the future of healthcare, technology, and law with inclusion and fairness in mind, to lead corporations responsibly and make ethical decisions about who has access to capital, to serve in all levels of government to promote economic growth and ensure social well-being. We are all immensely fortunate to receive a university education, and with that privilege comes a responsibility to pay it forward. Therefore, our ambitions must look beyond ourselves to include the needs and aspirations of others, because improving their world is improving our world. To my fellow graduates, the future is ours. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities ahead with courage, determination, and a commitment to excellence. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life less than the one you're capable of living." I look forward to witnessing the extraordinary impact each of you will make. Thank you for an exceptional, transformative 2 years. Congratulations, graduates.
The Executive MBA Commitment to Excellence Award was established by the Executive MBA class of 1991 to honor the memory of Professor Margaret K. Chandler. This award is presented to a member of the faculty for their contributions to the class and to the program, commemorating the high standards set by Professor Chandler. For the EMBA New York Saturday class, this year's Commitment to Excellence recipient is Professor Daniel Kuhn. Daniel Kuhn is an associate professor of management at Columbia Business School. He is interested in understanding how layoff costs, ranging from legal barriers to manager's guilt and moral obligation to workers, affect firm innovation, corporate strategy, and firm boundaries. He holds a PhD from NYU Stern School of Business and an AB with high honors in economics and mathematics from Dartmouth College, and has worked at McKinsey & Company, focusing on the fashion industry and corporate portfolio restructuring. Please join me in congratulating Professor Daniel Kuhn.
Hello, strategists. What an absolutely remarkable day we have here, celebrating an extraordinary milestone together. I'm truly honored to stand before you today. However, I must admit, beneath this veneer of confidence lies a great deal of distress. I spent a good 10 weeks grappling with coming up with what to say. I know better than to talk about taking risks and stumbling forward. That's not something you need to hear from me. Look to your right at your cluster mates. As for finding meaning and dreaming big, just glance to your left. Now, I do have a fantastic spiel about the importance of continuous learning and exploration, but you're all a group of people who decided to return to school and spend your Saturdays in a classroom. In our first class, I may have accused Graham Rowe of being mediocre. Hey, Graham. But of course, that couldn't be further from the truth. My intention was simply to highlight that success demands being different. But in reality, there seems to be a crowd, and everybody seems to be a part of it. So I thought I would talk about what I do best, being a mediocre person, but somehow making it work. I want to talk about being ordinary in an extraordinary way. So it's an understatement to say that the world is changing. And it's difficult to know how to be different and special in a way that will be meaningful. As we discussed in our class, even the lyrics of Disney songs have changed. Snow White sang, "I'm wishing for the one I love to find me." Instead of "I wish," Belle in the Beauty and the Beast goes, "I want adventure. In the great white somewhere, I want it more than I can tell." And I think deep down, I believe we are all Belle. Some versions of that song brought us to this very moment and fueled our embrace of late nights, long hours, and countless deadlines. We aspire for adventure. And along this journey, we inevitably make mistakes and fail, but we also forge lifelong friendships. But you see, this is a cliche story of every Disney movie. It's also your story and the story of those sitting beside you. I think that's why ChatGPT and AI scares us so much. They remind us that knowledge we acquire, the stories we create, and the magic and adventures in our lives may in fact be just ordinary. They remind us that what makes us unique and distinct, the basis of individuality, may be less special than we would like to believe. Yet for someone like me, that's actually deeply relieving. It's exhausting and lonely to leave the crowd, to take the risk, to be misconstrued, to be told that I made a mistake, and to realize that they're right. It's terrifying. So I rejoice in being mediocre, in being part of a crowd. Yet, at the same time, a part of ordinary me also wants to be extraordinary, to find my adventure that's worth telling. It's a crushing weight. It is a crushing weight. And now that it also haunts you, this feeling brought you here to a campus every Saturday. And it is in the company of this crowd that I find courage to be different. So even now, as much as I enjoy strategy and teaching, I know I will walk into the first class this fall with some fear. But I can be myself and enjoy it and know that I will be great because the fall before, I was with you all. It is my experience of being in the classroom with you that makes me unique. Heck, I'll be amazing. Because I discuss Zara and Disney and Samsung and Walmart with you, and carry your experiences and stories when I teach them again. So newbies, the class of 2025, they stand no chance but to be dazzled by how awesome I am. They don't know that it's not just me, but all of you they're debating and learning from. Our Saturdays together made the ordinary me not so ordinary. So what you accomplished is nothing short of magical. You have taken the extraordinary, learning, exploring, making new friends, and being at the cutting edge of business, and turned it into your weekend routine. And in the process, you turned something ordinary, certainly me, not so ordinary. You turned me into something extraordinary. It's a story we've seen thousands of times, a person growing, a person developing to somebody that they didn't imagine to be before. But it's something magical because it's with you as with your cluster mates. It's much easier to be courageous, to take the plunge, and to leave a comfort of a paycheck and try something new when it feels like you're just following a crowd. And this is a crowd of extraordinarily kind, fun, and talented people. What you have done in the past 2 years is normalize and commoditize learning and excellence. Like Disney that franchises everything, you have become a franchiser of excellence. I'm honored and humbled to have enriched my stories with you. So here's to you, my fellow strategist. I hope you continue to enrich each other until that happily ever after moment comes. But in the meantime, I look forward to our Zoom call in 20 years. Let's count how many of our case companies are still around.
For the EMBA New York Friday-Saturday class, this year's Commitment to Excellence Award recipient is Professor Andrew Hertzberg. Andrew Hertzberg was born and raised in Sydney, Australia. He studied economics at the University of Sydney, has a master's degree in economics from Queen's University in Canada, and received a PhD in economics from MIT. He was an assistant professor of finance at Northwestern University before coming to Columbia Business School. He has taught corporate finance at Columbia since 2009. He now works as an economic advisor at the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. Please join me in congratulating Professor Andrew Hertzberg.
There are my people. There you are. Very good. I'm legally obliged to remind you the personal anecdote that I'm about to tell does not in any way represent the views of the Federal Reserve System of the United States. I started my life as a finance professor 19 years ago at Northwestern University. I want you to picture it. I was young. I was fresh out of a PhD in economics from MIT. On the academic job market, I was offered faculty positions at many of the top universities around the country. I was feeling pretty good about myself. A month before I was scheduled to start teaching in the MBA program, the business school organized a one-day symposium for new faculty. They assembled a panel of the highest-ranking professors, student representatives, teaching consultants. They gave a brief introduction, and then they started with a question. They said, what is the biggest concern you have about teaching MBA students for the first time? Finally, my hand shot up, a chance to ask the one thing that I'd been worried about since I'd been hired. And here's what I said. I said, I have a PhD in economics. I've studied a lot of finance. But how do I teach MBA students when I have no practical experience of actually doing finance? The panel fell silent. the head of the panel finally spoke up. And they said, well, the question we were expecting you to ask is, am I supposed to wear a suit and a tie? That first semester was a rocky ride. I'd like to dedicate a moment of silence to the Kellogg class of 2006. I will always remember you. And just in case you were wondering, I did choose to wear a suit and tie. That I got right. With time and effort and patience, I got better at teaching. I would like to thank all of the students who helped me become a good professor, and more importantly, I think, taught me to love teaching. And that brings me to the EMBA class of 2023. I am honored and excited to have been selected for this award. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Thank you for your... Thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for all your questions. Thank you for all your friendship. And most importantly, and I cannot stress this enough, thank you to each and every person who laughed at any of my jokes. It is a privilege to have taught a group of people who bring so much to each and every class. Thank you. Our semester together was tough. For many of you, this was the first time you had taken a finance class or even thought about valuation in any form. I want you to remember that each and every one of you went from there to being able to value a firm from scratch in a monster 5-hour exam at the end of the semester. One of the lessons that I want you to take from the class is do not ever make the mistake of thinking that there are things you can't understand or master. You can do that. You can do it. You did it, and you did this degree, and you will do it over and over again in your lives. Always worrying, maybe I am not good enough, maybe I'm not smart enough, maybe I'm not the right person, gets in the way of learning and growth. Give yourself time to try. Give yourself time to struggle, to learn, and to try again. You will master the new challenges that you will face in life. As you leave Columbia, remember the people who are sitting with you right now today. The value of the work we did together is that you now have a common language and a common set of tools to share the diverse experience that each of you already has and that you will continue to build as you go forward. It's all well and good to have a great set of experience, but now you can talk about it in the same terms. Take advantage of that. In our class, when we started the semester, we recalled the words of the great Ice Cube. Cube taught me when I was young, life is not a track meet, it's a marathon. I have 3 very young children, and I think of those words a lot. And just like our class, just like this degree, life takes patience and care and a lot of hard work. Those are the very things that got you here today. It was my pleasure and privilege to run a mile of that marathon with each and every one of you. Congratulations. I am proud of you. Thank you very, very much.
Hello. I'm Shiri Malumad. I graduated from Columbia Business School's PhD program in 2017. I'm currently a professor of marketing at the Wharton School. I hope you'll forgive me. I'm here today to present the Nahu Malumad Memorial Prize, which is named in honor of my late father. Nahu Malumad was the James L. Dorr Professor of Accounting and Business Law, and he was a faculty member here at the business school in the accounting department for over 20 years. My father was an incredible teacher and scholar. He loved teaching executive MBA, and on a more personal note, he was my role model and my best friend. The Nahu Melumad Prize is the highest distinction given to one graduate in each class in recognition of their outstanding scholarship. And I'm really honored to be here today to present these awards in memory of my father. So when I call your name, please come up to the stage. The Melumad Prize for the EMBA New York Saturday class of 2023 goes to Adrian Ludwig. The Melumad Prize for the EMBA New York Friday-Saturday class of 2023 goes to Elise Garrett. Thank you, and congratulations to both of you.
We will now announce the Academic Excellence Awards. Students who demonstrate exceptional academic performance and are in the top 5% of their class graduate with Dean's Honors with Distinction. As I call your name, please stand to be recognized and remain standing. The following students will graduate with Dean's Honors with Distinction for the EMBA New York Saturday class. Michael Ju. Sabita Kumar. Adrian Ludwig. Austin Milan. Teddy Repko. And Swayam Thakur. Thank you. The following students will graduate with Dean's Honors with Distinction for the EMBA New York Friday-Saturday class. Corbin Edmonds. Elise Garrett. Roland Hendrick Pott. Carrie Powell. Brian Radbo. Vardavar Sagarian. And William Sandwick. Thank you. The Executive MBA Distinguished Service Award is presented to a graduating student from each program who is selected by the members of his or her class as deserving special recognition for contributions to the spirit and achievement of the class. Please come up to the stage when I call your name. The Distinguished Service Award recipient for the EMBA New York Saturday class is Claudia Gernergross. And the Distinguished Service Award recipient for the EMBA New York Friday-Saturday class is Sarah Vakili.
The Ethan R. Hannaberry Student Representative Awards are presented to the elected academic, cluster, career, community, women in business, and executive board student representatives to recognize their dedication to serving the interests of their classmates and to the overall betterment of the Executive MBA program. As I read your name, please stand and remain standing. The student representatives for the EMBA New York Saturday class are Kasha Danielchuk, Stephen Franzetti, Claudia Gernegros, Sri Gunturu, Daniel Hopkins, Olivia Cragen, Dominic Perkai, Fawad Paracha, Bo Trant, Natalie Trotta, and Chris Voss. The student representatives for the EMBA New York's Friday, Saturday class are Jenna Frank, Elise Garrett, Corina Marshall, Eileen McDonald, Susan Moser, Simone Paris, Pranav Radhakrishnan, Jane Richards, Vardavar Sagarian, Dimitri Scambis, Jonathan Smith, Lawrence Sinalovsky, and Sarah Vakili. Congratulations to all of our student representatives, and thank you so much for your work. The names of the graduating students will now be read, beginning with the EMBA New York Saturday class of 2023. So that there is time for each graduate's name to be read and heard, we ask that you hold your applause until the end. Graduate names will be read by their faculty Commitment to Excellence Award winners, beginning with Professor Daniel Kuhn for the EMBA New York Saturday class.
It is my great pleasure to present the graduates of the EMBA New York Saturday class of 2023. Sirin Ahmed, Ruhi Hakim Hassan, Essam Alanaizi, Sasha Arianto, Elizabeth Ornell, Sai Akshay Arun, Yanis Pakla Joglu, Mark Baladian, Chris Balestris, Emily Catherine Bargabas, Michelle Vanessa Wilder Bedford, Margot Bodenheimer, Paige Carlotti. Victor Sirio. Alexander Coulard. John Christencho. Caitlin Laura Danielson. Kasha Danielchuk. Ayana Dawkins. Travis Dravin. Mathis Fender. Danny Fortin. Stephen Franzetti. Eric Garner. Claudia Garnegros. Kashmira Ghosh. Kuntal Ghosh. Gennady Goldberg. Lucas Samuelson Gottlieb. Joe Grandi. Siri Gunturu. Ben Guthmiller. Lloyd Taro Hall. Louis Han. Duan Ho. Ellison Hellman. James William Hanley. Mariah Hill. Nathan Hong. Daniel Thomas Hopkins. Lynn Elizabeth Shea. Ember G. Frida Mary Johnson. Michael Ju. Nicholas Hubera Munoz. Womo Kang. Chandra Shakar Kanukuntia. Shiv Kapoor. Mitch Kim. Joseph N. Kleeman. Hiroki Komine. Olivia Cragen. Sabitha Kumar. Tim Kwak. Brian Kwon. Charles Kwon. Cheu Lee. Catherine Lee. Rochelle Limpahan. Amanda Lopez Edwards. Gary Liu. Yao Liu. Adrian Ludwig. Hirsch Malik. Kate Mandil. Yash Mathur. Amrita Muzumdar. Brandon McIntyre. Martin McQuaid. Amol P. Mehta. Matthew Mezer. Austin Mylene. Jagdish Misra. Gregory Moody. Leah Morales. Roshini Naik. Mahesh Narayanan. Nivi Narayana Swami. Lep Nguyen. Devora Olalere. Olivia Moraid Pakenham. Misha Pola. James Park. Delano J. Paul. Dominic Vasco Perkai. Fawad Paracha. Jake Piscal. Dalino Placer. Eshrei Prazad. Smeida Pruthi. Duran Radoniki. Delicia Raimi. Teddy Repko. Graham Rowe. No. Kyra Lever Ruff. Lalita Salgankor. Derek Ryan Sam. Shara Sanabathi. Anurag Sanyal. Akash Sareen. Shona Sharma. Cici Shen. Laura Simeon. Richard Sterndale. Matthew Stock. Sean Singh Skull. Diana Saul. Surayam Thacker. Michael Ting. David Todd. Naoki Tonoka. Bo Trent. Natalie Clarice Trota. Chris Chattis. Angelica Faraz. Chris Voss. Chenjiang Wong, Jillian Ward. Bochun Wei, Ilya Weinstein. Landon Welford, Brian Yates. Laurent Yun. Yukari Yoshii. Zhang Shan. Ying Zhou. Gui Zhu. Now, Professor Andrew Hurwitz will now read the names of EMBA NY Friday, Saturday class of 2023.
It is my absolute pleasure to present the graduates of the EMBA New York Friday, Saturday class of 2003. Ronnie Abraham. Nagesh Anyapindi. Ben Archer. Brian Aredo. Jose Avila. Ryan Boraj. Annalise Baroud. Gianfranco Bellavacqua. Matthew Blanchard. David Buitrago. Dan Burke. Nachali Caban Arocho. Zachary Ray Castle. Alexander Chang. Jen Chang. David Chu. Jinhua Chun. Laura Ives Colony. Mark Colvin. Pat Connolly. Andrew Lawrence Contillo. Christina Riccici Costello. Nosley Dudka. Mano Das. John Doherty. Alexa De La Torre. Jesse DeLuca. Christina Deegan. Webov Desai. Chelsea Drobnik. Michael Drobnik. Adam Duong. Dr. Gregory Allen Echt. Hey, Greg. Corbin Edmonds. Mei Fang. Ryan Ferreira. Linda Foggy. Jenna Frank. Elizabeth Frizzell. Christian Garcia Rinkert. Evan Stewart Garfine. Elise Garrett. Tiffany Victoria Gassman. Oliver Gomes. Daniel Greenberg. Catherine Grimes Moynihan. Michelle Guo. Nikita Gudaras. Amanda Hamilton. Molly Henning. Justin Hockhauser. Kristen Joan Holohan. Tilo Huber. Sunny Intwala. Hey. Tom Irby. Caitlin Jabari. Dipanshu Jain. Stanley Janicki. Hey, Stan. Bob Johnson. John Cole Canchis. Ryan Cass. Mariam Kassim. Shahan Kazai. Evan Klemevskoy. Woogun Kim. Tyler King. Gregory Cassell. Dawn Kissy. Paul Coe. Deepa Kodoli. Gautam Kumar. Ross Lambie. Christina Lustres. Lisa Leifer. Brian Lee. Jinho Lee. Alexandra Leah Lewis. Gabriella Lilienthal. John Lilly. Mark Lundquist. Adrian Mancia. Maurizio Maris. Karina Marshall. Eileen McDonald. Lindsay Mayer. Tim Miller. Parul Mishra. Brian Monga. Michelle Morand. Susan Moser. Keerthana Maudgal. Ernest Bouquet Moy. Gregory Daniel Oran. Uz Ozahan. Alonzo Page. Vivek Parepati. Simone Paris. Daniel Alejandro Penaloza. David Polk. Pranav Ponaluri. Rulant Hydrick Pot. Kuri Pal. Arjuna Premachandra. Brian Radbill. VKPS Pranav Radhakrishna. Ayush Raghavana. Shamita Rahman. Evan Andrew Redwood. Eric Ray. Jane Richards. Rachel Roberts. Eileen Rotetta. Eliza Rogerio. Vadavar Garabet Sagarian. Shimpi Sanan. William Cameron Sandwick III. Larry Schmidlap. Gregory Sherry. Margot Silva. James Keol Sim. Amit Singla. Dimitri Scambus. Jonathan Smith. Albert Son. Sam Sonnenschein. Jacob Spangler. Keith Steck. Katie Sudol. Robert Swigert. Lawrence P. Skinilowski. George Tagaris. Riandy Tan. AJ Taylor. Natalia Tiafilo. Jay Tian. Lauren Trower. Sarah Vakili. Vineet Venkat. Francesca Walsh. Una Grayonic White. Joshua Ryan Willis. Kevin K. Wong. Lacey Wood. Sean Zhu. Xingjiang Alex Zick.
Congratulations to all the graduates. It is now my pleasure this morning to introduce Susan Moser, who was also chosen by the EMBA New York Friday-Saturday class to speak on behalf of their cohort. Susan is an SVP at Wilton Re, where she manages M&A transactions as well as enterprise legal and regulatory risk. Susan is a co-author of You Were Made to Be Unstoppable and a founder of Grow into Greatness, a platform where she draws on her experience as a cancer survivor, mother via gestational carrier, ostomate, working mom, and lawyer turned business leader to inspire and support others in their journey to live with an empowered sense of self-purpose. Wife to John and mother to Wesley, Susan believes that empowering authenticity for oneself and others is the means to embody what she calls a life on fire existence. Please join me in welcoming Susan to the podium.
No matter whether business school has always been a part of your plan, or you landed here after a winding path of tons of surprises, as a lawyer, I fall within this latter category. We all, though, deserve to take time. And not just today, not just in this identified, pointed moment dedicated to the achievement, but throughout our lives. Take time to pause on a pride in the character that we had to embody to reach this moment. You are surrounded by people of the highest caliber right now. You get to walk in this world connected to the highest character of peers. You are extraordinary. You will be deemed by others to be their peer of highest caliber. Wear the badge with honor and with undeniable confidence. Nobody escapes this program without incredible challenge. Some dove into Excel for the first time. Some slogged through quantitative analysis. Others took on a role that wasn't really their forte in a group project, or were introduced to the concept that you might have to manage people. And many mustered a confidence in the face of fear to share personal stories at CBS Matters. We will all take with us our own keepsakes and highlights from the academic and social experiences. But common for all of us is a gaining of conviction of our true limitlessness. Because just as challenge is a hallmark of the program, so too is the utter domination of that challenge by the participants here today. Bestowed upon us is a professional degree, but the pride is tied more to a deep recognition of the explosion of personal growth required of us through this adventure. We did not go through this alone. Without the net around us, the juggling act of work obligations, family life, and scholarly endeavors would have been tenfold more difficult, if not downright impossible. We actually now have the great fortune to have witnessed the depth of the incredible support system that surrounds us. We will never doubt the love of those who supported us through it. Thank you. What a privilege it is to know that they stand beside you through it all. We are all now deemed great business leaders, but it has absolutely nothing to do with the technical skills that we developed here. Our ability to impact ignites from a now deeper understanding that alignment of who we are and what lights us up supports our conviction in knowing that by embracing our values, we become more fulfilled. We step into a life we can't possibly script, and we tap into an unimaginable, inspiring capacity to connect with others. We leave here better people, a little bit smarter, but definitely much better. As we move forward, may we remain connected so that we never let a single one of us lose sight of the realities that we learned here together. There are no limits to our capacity, to our resolve, or to our resilience. No topic we cannot learn, no feat we cannot tackle, and no height we cannot reach. Now, you know I couldn't take this moment without a nod to authenticity. The deepest gratitude that I feel for the experience of this program is the push from peers and professors to simply be me. Time and again, I sat in awe as I witnessed classmates see in one another what that individual could not see for him or herself. Time and again, we are forced to accept that we are more than we believe. We offer more than we can understand, and we impact lives greater than we can imagine. We leave with business degrees, but fundamentally, we leave as individuals capable of impacting our world more profoundly across more areas than we did 20 months ago. To the Columbia administration and professors, thank you for creating this space. To our support system, thank you for weaving through the path alongside us. Business school illuminates our individual and our collective limitlessness. I can't even begin to fathom the small but mighty greatness and the undeniably massively powerful greatness that will come from this select group. It truly has been an honor and will continue to be an honor to be connected to you all. So to my fellow graduates, you absolutely dominated. We have just experienced the reality that true evolution of self ignites outside of our predefined paths. So embrace the push ahead. Lean into the pivots that are absolutely about to come. It is those experiences that ignite a revolution of self in the most powerful ways that you can possibly imagine. Thank you for being the source of an epic embodiment of greatness for yourself and for all of us. Congratulations.
I'm now delighted to introduce our final student speaker, Michael Ju. Who was chosen by the EMBA New York Saturday class to speak on behalf of their cohort. Michael grew up in China and finished his undergraduate studies at Peking University. He came to America 11 years ago and stayed in North Carolina, Georgia, Ohio, and New Jersey, and is now settled in Los Angeles. He used to work on risk modeling and pricing analytics at several commercial banks and a fintech firm. This June, he will start as a management consultant at Alex Partners. Please join me in welcoming Michael to the podium.
He cut a little bit of my introduction, so he didn't mention my dream. My dream is to shoot a blockbuster out of my own pocket, and last sentence is that needs my wife's permission. My wife is over there. Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, EMBA 23. Thank you so much for selecting me here. And it looks calm, but it feels like I won an Oscar. So I promise I will not cry in this speech. So today is a great pleasure to see a lot of familiar faces. And I would like to start with Professor Daniel Kung. After all, who can forget the first professor who taught us strategy, value stake, and willingness to pay? Almost 2 years after the class, we still keep receiving his updates in our inbox and junk box on trending topics, such as ChatGPT. I promise this speech is not written by ChatGPT. And this connection between CBS professors and students is one of the top reasons that pushes our willingness to pay up in the sky. So thank you, Daniel, and all CBS professors for providing us with this wonderful learning experience. And personally, another reason I remember Daniel so well is that I didn't get an H in his class. Yeah, specifically his strategy class. But somehow I got a job offer to do strategic consulting. So I guess I did learn strategy well enough. So Daniel, one question. Is it still okay to change my grade? Just kidding, just kidding. And I would also like to thank all career advisors at Career Management Center. Thank you for your great suggestions and instructions. Especially, I would like to thank Miko Zinti. Miko is sitting right behind here. Thank you, Miko. Not only did she help me succeed in OCR and jobs interviews with countless Zoom sessions and super detailed and patient guidance, she also helped me dig out the real me inside my body. So folks, I know it sounds strange, but we don't know ourselves often. And after 1 month of reflection sessions with Miko, I finally had a picture of who I am, what I want, and what I'm planning to achieve. The whole experience with Miko and other CMC career advisors reminds me of Robin Williams' movie, Dead Poets Society. So beyond career development, these career advisors, together with CBS professors, also taught us how to live a good, meaningful life. So I want to say to Miko and also other CMC career advisors and professors, oh captain, my captain. Thank you. And at last, I would like to thank my classmates. 1,300 years ago, in China's Tang Dynasty, the greatest Chinese poet, Li Bai, wrote a lot of poems to praise the dynasty. However, now people look back and recognize that it is him making the dynasty to be praised. So same here. CBS is praised not only because we have the best professors, best staff, and best facilities, but also because we have the best you. I enjoyed every moment spent with you all. All your thoughts nurtured me. All your experiences enchanted me. All your support warmed me. Thank you. Thank you all. And at the very last, I want to thank my wife for her support. I'm sorry for letting you suffer for almost 2 years in a small apartment. I know you hated it. I promise our Los Angeles home remodeling will be done soon. I love you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you and congratulations to all of our speakers today. Everyone on this stage, in this audience, is a testament of this remarkable, remarkable community, which you will forever be part of. You're joining now an incredibly strong, diverse, accomplished, engaged group of 50,000 fellow alumni across the world. It might be the end of the ceremony today. It's the end of your time here. But remember, we're celebrating commencement, which means beginning. A new beginning in your next chapter of your lives. You have all the tools to keep learning, growing, exploring, disrupting. You're backed by the reputation and strength of Columbia Business School, and you're going to make your mark wherever you go. Each of you will embark on your own path, your own unique journey, but regardless of where you go, what you do next, what you choose to do next, I'm certain you will lead change. You will tackle challenges and find new solutions. You will introduce new ideas, businesses, create new industries. You will innovate, you will disrupt, you will challenge the status quo. You will change business, and I'm sure that you will save society. And you will change the world. And I know that because in your 2 years with us, you changed us for the better. So congratulations once again to all of our graduates. Come back to see us early. Come back to see us often in Manhattanville. And you're now all welcome to follow the faculty and the students recessional to the celebration at Ansel Plaza. Congratulations.